Listen, folks, if you're in New Jersey or on the East Coast, I need you to get inside. I need you to stay inside. I need you to take cover, and I need you to be careful, okay? There are aliens. I'm sorry. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to use the term UFO. I'm not going to use the term drone because much like Megs, it'll confuse you, much like it confused her when I tried to tell her that drones were flying around New Jersey. And she's like, what do you mean? Everyone, 6 people who have a drone. Like, what do you mean? Everyone's just flying their drones in New Jersey? And I'm like, no, it's a goddamn alien invasion, okay?
What are we doing?
The aliens are here. They're here. They're coming up out of the water and they're flying around New Jersey. We all know. We watched it, okay? We watched the Joe Rogan and Joey Diaz episode of the podcast years ago, back when we all used to listen to Joe Rogan, back before he went woke and then went Republican and just started having nut jobs on. Like literally, did we all forget what happened in 2024? Did we all watch the Joe Rogan Trump interview and like it melted all of our brains to the point where we forgot that just like a month before that, he had on Terrence Howard, the actor, the HBO stars, ABC drama, Terrence Howard, Transformers, Terrence Howard, Iron Man, Marvel, Terrence Howard.
What are we doing?
Talking about how gravity doesn't exist, our math system's wrong, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. And as soon as Terrence Howard gets done spewing all this bullshit, all of this nonsense, all of this fake, easily disputable, not scientific stuff at all, Joe Rogan goes, yeah, he's a really smart man. He's got a lot to say, man. And I believe him, man. I think a lot of what he's saying is true, man. And it's like, hey, where did we take a right turn here? But a few years back, it was still all Bigfoot and aliens. And I think that's how Joe Rogan captured a lot of us. So listen, this is it. And this is it. So this was what? This was 5 years ago, before COVID. And that's where I draw my line. I'm pretty sure COVID effed up about 90% of the people who are who actually survived and lived through the pandemic. The rest of us are just, it's a conversation for another day, but Joe Rogan was certainly a victim of the pandemic in the sense that he's still here. And so this was before that. So this was when we actually liked Joe Rogan.
What are we doing?
Shows and shit. He fucking believes.
What people don't know is that Hudson County, New Jersey,
Here you go.
northern New Jersey, is the #1 place in the country where they have the most UFO sightings.
Really? Northern New Jersey.
Look it up, Jamie, if you get a minute, please, not to be rude.
But isn't that like near a couple airports?
No, it's closer to like, like when you live in New York City and you look at the Hudson River, they say that people go on their balcony, they're drinking coffee, they're talking on the phone, and they'll see a little flying saucer go by.
Really?
And I know for a fact that in 1976...
A little one?
Whatever the fuck they are. I know for a fact that in 1975 and 1976, you could check me out on this. A UFO landed in Hudson County Park. I was a kid, and the next day the feds locked off the park. They had yellow tape. They had samples. Go look it up, dog. There's a UFO. You see that's called, North Bergen is where I'm from. That's called, I forget what it's called, but it was so.
Want to see a UFO, try North Bergen.
So they did so much coke in there in the 80s, they called it the grinder. That's what they called it because it was shaped like the Stonehenge. The Stonehenge.
This was
What are we doing?
This was 5 years ago. Joey Diaz is already fully aware of the alien invasion in New Jersey, and now it hasn't stopped. And so now, since the last week in November, these last couple weeks, a lot of people haven't heard about it. The aliens are here, okay? We've got the New Jersey mayor, the New Jersey government claiming that Iran has a mothership that these drones are launching from and that there is an Iranian warship off the east coast of the United States of America, and that we should all be worried.
What are we doing?
So meanwhile, while the officials and the higher ups and the people in charge of your life there in the state of New Jersey, while they're on local and national news and public, radio stations and social media shouting that there is an Iranian warship off the coast of the United States, right off the coast of New Jersey, and they are launching drones into the United States. We don't know why, but stay inside and stay safe, New Jersey. To the point where the White House has now come out and said, hey.
What are we doing?
There's no ship. There's no mothership off the coast of New Jersey. It's not Iran. And so we were all like, okay, thank God. The feds, let alone at the state, we know how things are at the state level, but at least if we don't know what's going on at the state level, much like this guy in New Jersey doesn't know what's actually going on, the feds most likely know and they'll set us straight. So lady comes on the teleprompter, says, hey, I know the guy in New Jersey was like, don't worry about it. It's just an Iranian warship off the coast. That ship doesn't exist. It's not a thing. It's not Iran. And all of us were like, thank God, we finally have some answers. The next sentence out of her mouth was, yeah, but even though it's not an Iranian warship, we still don't know what the fuck is going on.
What are we doing?
The feds in New Jersey, the state prosecutors, the higher-ups, the governors, the mayors, New Jersey, they're meeting with government officials. They have zero answers. The federal government knows nothing. The state knows nothing. The people know nothing. We know nothing. So whether these are just 30 college kids with DJI drones in New Jersey, or it's actually aliens emerging from the water, getting ready to get the fuck off of this planet, because we're most likely about 3 months away from blowing each other, all of us up with nuclear bombs. So why be around when that happens? So all of the alien community that lives under the ocean off the coast of New Jersey is up and out of here. And the only way they can do that quickly is without, the cloaking, and we got to have the lights on because it's dark. But, we need the high beams on. And so Americans now with our iPhone 16s finally have some decent footage of these things. And they're not the shape of airplanes. They're not the shape of regular DJI drones. It's very interesting what's happening. Here's the latest.
Where are the drones spotted over New Jersey coming from? And are they a threat? National correspondent Matt Gelka has more on how members of Congress and local officials want to see more from the Fed.
There's a lack of answers about what's lighting up the skies over New Jersey. Drone sightings have been reported every night around the state since November 18th. This is just one map from Monmouth County depicting the areas of reported sightings. New Jersey's governor said Wednesday night it's his most important issue.
You're frustrated, so are we. But based on everything, and we're going to stay at it, I promise you this is our top priority.
The White House said
that guy, by the way, go back 5 seconds. That guy, this guy, who is he? Governor. Oh, the governor of New Jersey. He looks like he was abducted by aliens.
What are we doing?
This guy, the governor of New Jersey, looks like he already knows. The aliens have already talked to him. They said, hey, just keep stringing them along while we get the fuck out of here, and we won't suck out your brain, and everyone you know and loves brains, and eat them for breakfast. So he was like, yeah, sure, I'll tell him whatever. So the Governor Phil Murphy he's already on it. He's talked to the aliens, and they come in peace.
The White House said based on analysis so far, many of the sightings appear to be manned aircraft and not in restricted airspace.
In this early stage of the investigation, there's just no national security threat that we see and no public safety risks.
The unexplained sightings have become a national security issue to some lawmakers, with the objects spotted buzzing around some critical infrastructure and even near President-elect Donald Trump's golf course in Bedminster.
A commanding officer from the Coast Guard who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water, followed right behind them.
New Jersey Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew said this week the drones were coming from a mothership off the coast of the U.S. launched by Iran.
That's him. There he
is. The Pentagon responded.
There is not any truth to that.
Yes.
There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
But without knowing the source of the flights, the question lingers over whether they're a threat or not. One possible solution, shoot one down.
They should be shot down. But we have a problem, an underlying problem here with sort of detection.
There was a briefing Wednesday night with Homeland Security and local officials in New Jersey that left many of the attendees frustrated and still without answers. According to State Assemblywoman Dawn Fantasia's notes from the meeting, the objects being spotted are up to 6 feet in diameter and are able to avoid traditional detection methods.
Okay, so basically, what are we thinking here? I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it. The issue, the bottom line is, I think it's absolutely and utterly insane that. Now, do we believe that the state officials actually don't know anything, like the governor, mayor, and all the people in New Jersey? Yes, I strongly believe that the man who is the governor of New Jersey is completely in the dark and knows nothing about what is going on and what these drones are. But does someone within the federal government know what these drone spaceship UFOs are? 100%. And there's probably a laundry list of reasons why us as American people don't need to know about it. Now, if you want to know exactly what these drones, aliens, UFOs, whatever you think these are in New Jersey, you can do one of two things. You can either A, listen to the experts, okay, when it comes to the type of science. We'll get to an expert testimony in a minute. Or B, you can wait about, give it 5 more days, and either your parents or your aunt or your uncle, anyone within your immediate family that you talk to regularly within the boomer generation, will most likely see a Facebook post from someone they do not know personally that has a completely made-up story about what these drones / aliens / UFOs are. They'll wholeheartedly believe it to be true, and then they'll tell you exactly what is going on.
What are we doing?
Now, if we want to, just kind of fast forward to the science behind it all, there's only one person we go to when it comes to space and aliens and underwater and everything else that's involved with this alien New Jersey story, the alien invasion of 2024.
Today, lawmakers got a private security
Calm down, sweetheart. God, she's sexy, but I need you to just wait one more second to let me get to the bit. The man we need to talk to is Neil deGrasse Tyson. Jesus Christ.
What are we doing?
Listen, this CNN host, it's the reason I picked this clip. She's sneaky hot, dude. She is sneaky hot. She's got this kind of like, just listen to her talk for about 30 seconds. I'm telling you, like...
Briefing on this ongoing mystery of the unexplained drones that we have seen flying in the skies over New Jersey.
I mean, come on, bro.
What are we doing?
She's a 10 out of 10 bombshell, but the issue with a girl like this is, I'm telling you right now, she will destroy your life. She 100% wears the pants in the family, and if you say anything wrong around her, she's going to yell at you, she's going to be very mean to you, and it's probably going to turn you on to the fullest. And that's one out of many reasons you are with such a beautiful woman like this anchor. She's, boy, oh boy, she will destroy everything that you've built, but at the same time, she will cuddle you right back to health and be exactly who you need her to be in the relationship. That's the type of girl she is. That's the type of girl this anchor is. She's sneaky sexy, and all of that shit that I probably just said is most likely true. Let's talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
What are we doing?
My source today is the famed astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, who has a new book, Merlin's Tour of the Universe, that is in stores now. It is great to have you. I mean, hearing those lawmakers there, I thought one of them raised a good point. If you don't know what it is, how can you tell us what it's not? I mean, what is your take on what we've been seeing pop up over New Jersey?
First, I agree with the sentiment that if people cannot identify what they are, you're in no position to say whether they're are or are not a threat.
That's
So,
right.
I don't get what it means when they say, "Oh, don't worry about it. We don't know what it is, but don't worry about it." But I can tell you this: if I can't claim to know the motives of aliens, but just being an Earthling, but of all the places to show up on Earth, they pick New Jersey. That's
right.
It'd be odd for me to wonder what the aliens are looking for.
Shout out to Neil deGrasse Tyson for talking shit on New Jersey.
What are we doing?
Hilarious. Hilarious. Hey, man, if aliens were going to invade the United States, what makes you think, for any reason at all, they'd choose New Jersey?
What are we doing?
Shout out to Neil, yo.
No offense to New Jersey. I'm just saying, there's the whole Earth they could have visited. So yeah, it's a mystery. And by the way, drones are more available to people than ever before.
That's right.
So maybe this is just the new normal. And Jersey's getting the first taste of it. But I'm a little disappointed that given that we have a nearly $1 trillion budget for the Pentagon, that nobody knows what these things are.
The second bomb!
What are we doing?
The second bomb from our man NDT, Neil deGrasse Tyson. We've got $1 trillion military defense budget, but the federal government doesn't spend any of that money to figure out or know or have the hoo-ha or technology to tell us what these flying objects are. United States government? Huh? Why is someone like Neil deGrasse Tyson calling you out on that, dude? Oh.
Now I'm worried about national security.
One, I gotta say for the people from New Jersey who are watching that, I'm gonna get some complaints from Phil Murphy and others about that comment, saying New Jersey is a great place for Martians to visit.
Great place except for the taxes. Okay, apparently.
Another zinger.
I would
Another
send them to
zinger.
Alabama, but our football team's not doing so well this year. But honestly, on this, and your point there about the Pentagon is a good one, because we heard from John Kirby today. He used to be at the Pentagon, and he said it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully. But there is such a heightened sense of public concern that what we are hearing, and this has been going on for days now, it's not making anyone feel any better about it.
Yeah, well, maybe there's a sensitivity or an awareness factor for lights in the sky, especially after a year and a half of congressional testimony of people declaring that we're being visited. So if this gets people to look up, I'll take it, right, as an astrophysicist.
Or maybe we could all be fearing for our lives because, like, the people of Israel and Gaza and the Ukraine and Russia, every time they look up in the sky and see a flashing light, it's a fucking bomb.
What are we doing?
Ready to, demolish their entire house and their family within it. And so, maybe we're all just a little concerned that the headlines we're seeing every other day about Donald Trump stopping World War III. World War III started. World War III's here. How are we going to stop World War III? World War III is inevitable. We all have nukes. It's nuclear war. It's World War III. And when you see videos, much like the ones that they're posting in New Jersey of these flashing lights in the sky from said countries, and then you realize, oh, that flashing light, boom, then turns into a bomb explosion, a missile explosion, an Iron Dome defense paraglider crashing into trees, suicide bomb, the whole 9 yards. Maybe the people of New Jersey are just a little scared that World War III started. Did we ever think of that?
What are we doing?
Listen, I'm going to chalk, thanks to Neil deGrasse Tyson, I have more information now, and I'm chalking up the alien invasion in New Jersey to Elon Musk, 30 of his billionaire friends, Jeff Bezos probably with them, the boys, and they're all in their little $6 million personal aircrafts that none of us can afford or even know about yet.
What are we doing?
And they're like, hey, where do we go? We're in New York City. Where should we go? And then they're like, let's just fly. Let's go to New Jersey, and then we'll go back. And like what we're all seeing in New Jersey, what Joey Diaz saw when he was a kid, what we saw last night, what we saw last week, what all these people in New Jersey are filming on their iPhones, it's just Elon Musk and his billionaire friends flying around in the little prop planes they got because they're billionaires and they have nothing else to do.
What are we doing?